Bill Lee, what's a trade war, and why are we now finally in one?
Well, everyone's getting very serious now about trade because the retaliation is there. The China is adamant about not giving in, and Trump is adamant about not giving in. So now we have an impasse. We no longer have negotiation possibilities. And that, I think, is the concern, the uncertainty about how this will resolve. Because where are we going to go to get the real issues on the table? Not soybean trade, not buying a few more goods from the U.S., but rather getting intellectual property and market access onto the table.
I'll get that, but intellectual property is an intangible idea. The guys like you, Bill Lee, the fancy suits and ties with the fancy degrees, all go, you go all international relations on me. A pile of soybeans is a pile of soybeans, and that gets politicians going. When are we at that point?
Well, right now, actually, we're at that point because the soybean farmers are finding that China's not their only customer. There's only a limited amount of soybeans around, and when they empty out Brazil and South America, guess what? The customers that were originally buying from South America are now buying from us. So I think we're discovering that there's a limited supply out there, and when demand is equilibrated, we will shift our customer base. So I think the soybean farmers are okay, and they have to find new customers. But I think the real issue then is getting the new trade order in place and getting rid of the trade order from World War II.
Benjamin Applebaum in the New York Times with a clinic on soybeans a couple days ago. Jack Ablin, this is the difference. Bill Lee's in the East Coast. It's all esoteric and theory. You're living out in the real world of the Midwest of America. What's the level of sweat?
Yeah, right now they're supporting the president. We've got, the Midwestern states, although, as you saw, shifted to Democratic governors. So we did have a little bit of slippage under Trump. But I think, by and large, the rural areas of the Midwest states are still big Trump supporters.
But if we get a further price decline in soybeans, just as one example, come on, that's tangible, right?
Oh, absolutely is. And they're not looking for handouts from Washington. They want trade. And so I think this is a matter of time. And looking at it from China's perspective, they're trying to de-lever. President Xi is trying to reform the economy. He's trying to de-lever. Part of my thinking is he can use the Trump trade war as an excuse if we see some slowdown in China. Meanwhile, of course, the yuan is a lot cheaper, and they're offsetting some of it that way. But if you look at our most recent GDP, exports are down. Exports are down a lot.